Okay, since we're talking about team orders, okay, I think we really need to address this. Pretty much all the drivers were ordered to race, right?
Ordered
Like
to race? I'm curious on where this is
ordered
going now.
ordered by the Saudi government. Oh, sorry, team principals. Sorry, what?
Wink, wink, wink. Wink, wink. Hey folks, welcome back to F1 Fan Fiction. This season is turning out to be fun for sure. This is Race to Saudi Arabian Grand Prix. We are your hosts. I am Akash.
And I'm Sarang.
And today we've got a third host for you. Someone who's been following F1 for quite some time but had dropped it because of Mercedes dominance, as many people have. But he's back. He's back into the sport. Handing off to our third host. Take it over, man.
Hello guys. My name is Shayan Roy, content creator based out of Mumbai. I'm just happy to be here, like Nico Hulkenberg the last 2 weekends. So yeah, admittedly, I did mention this to you earlier. Like the actual reason I stopped watching F1 is because of board exams, and then I just never caught back on because first it was Red Bull winning all the championships, and then Merck came through, and I was like, it's getting a little boring. So yeah, thanks to the pandemic, I am back. I'm gonna spend the rest of my life metaphorically in the paddock.
Nice.
Glad to be
Awesome,
here, guys.
Man, awesome. Happy to have you as well. Thanks for joining us. Let's get into it, man. Just Sarang and Shayan, take us through thoughts on yesterday, thoughts on the weekend. What do you think?
I was, I don't know why, maybe because of the way the race went in Jeddah last year, but I was just expecting some really dirty stuff to go down. And I was like, 2-3 red flags. I think I was messaging you before the race also. I was like, 3 red flags is a safe bet. And there were none. I was like a pretty clean race for the most part. And then got really interesting in the second half.
Yeah.
So yeah, great race, man. Like, so happy. I was just really happy to watch it.
Definitely, right. I mean, there were no red flags, of course, but we did have Latifi, so he compensated for that.
The goat. I just want to point out that this is 2 out of 3 races now. I know that the last one of them was last season, but I don't care. But from a stats point of view, that's 2 out of 3 races that he's completely wrecked the order. And you can't even call him a Red Bull agent anymore now because just kind of he's like, I'm going to even out the whole grid.
Exactly. I think he's just a FIA plant, just whenever they decide we want some more drama and they have a button
100%
and he goes crashes.
100%.
True. I know we've got a meme section coming later, but this is a perfect stage where there's this other meme where I forget what movie it is, but this actor is gonna get hanged, and then it's first time.
I think it's Pirates of the Caribbean.
First time.
Pirates of the Caribbean. Yeah. So there's this meme where.
But yeah. No, there's some
other movie
stuff. Yeah.
But the thing is, Perez says Latifi ruins my race, and then the Hamilton's there saying first time.
Oh man! I just want to give a big shout out to the F1 meme community for keeping me so invested, because I think that has played such a big part in me just making F1 a part of my daily life. Even in the off season, I think in the off season is when it's peak meme season for the F1 community as well, because the memes get completely wild.
Yeah,
it's a beautiful experience. And I'm really glad you guys have a meme section.
The only reason I was able to watch 2018 and 2019 seasons were because of the memes. That's it.
Oh, really? Wow. So you guys must know who's that guy? Alpha Max Nova.
Oh, yeah.
You know who I'm talking about?
Oh, yeah.
The guy who used to make the Spinala. Spinotto. We should. I can actually imagine an edit, a Latifi edit coming up from him soon.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Activate the Latifi beat.
Latifi is the new Mazepin. Mazespin, or if I will.
Yeah. He seems like a solid guy though. I feel bad that he's having so many like race deciding crashes.
Exactly.
So yeah, I hope he figures it out.
What if that's actually the job of a paid driver? That's what he's paying for.
Man,
Think about it. I know we
love
were
that.
talking about this
I
right
love that.
before we started recording, right? But like, we'd love to see a race where there is Mazepin, there's Latifi, there's Grosjean. You said let's get Pastor into there as well.
Yeah. All the legacy acts. Just bring them and see what happens.
I'll let
But
them race in
start-
Saudi, right? Of course.
Oh, that even better. Like, take it up a notch. Why not? But race
yeah,
start, like Shan,
Race start. Sorry, no, go ahead.
No, I was saying, like, I for one thought like Red Bull had a killer race start. Perez and Max taking right off, bringing it on with Ferraris up there. But like race start, thoughts on race start there?
I actually kind of forgot the race start, man. I'm just. I was taking notes. Let me
Mhm.
see what the notes said.
You must have seen a
Sonoda
very
driving-
slow alpha there.
Sorry?
You must have seen a really slow alpha there. at the
Oh,
start.
yeah. And I remember thinking for some reason it was Valtteri Bottas, but it wasn't.
Yeah,
It
I
was.
The
think
other
somebody
one.
else, the commentator also thought so, right?
Yeah. I think so.
Mr. Joe Yang Yu or whatever he pronounced it yesterday. I think like all 23 races were going to get different pronunciations of Mr. Joe from
Mr.
China.
Oh, yesterday they called him Go Juan Yu, and then they were like, sorry, the other one or something like that. Yeah. But I remember like seeing like the first couple laps, just in the first two to 4 laps, I felt like from like whatever my layman F1 perspective is that they seem to be following like crazy
Yes.
a lot more, it was really
Yes.
intense in the first few laps. And then again, like we saw how the race ended, not just like the first, like the people battling for first and second place, but like, I think Norris and Ocon also had like a
Yes.
drag race
Yeah,
to finish. So it's happened, man. Like
It's happening,
they
right?
actually made it
It's
happen.
here.
Yeah,
Yep.
I was cautiously optimistic about the season, but I think they figured it out.
Yep.
This is dope.
Especially at the start, the battle that we saw between Ocon and Alonso, that was something else, man. First of all,
Oh yeah.
what is wrong with Ocon? He was battling his teammate, almost running him into the
Yes.
wall.
Yeah, he. I don't know, man. I couldn't even like tell who was like the faster of the two. Like it just seemed like they were pretty much
Yeah.
equal.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
what happens? Like I've had listen. I have like these wild theoretical opinions on F1. So I'm like, when that happens, why don't they just keep like, what's the thing like giving each other slipstream and DRS and catching up to like the guys
Gotcha.
ahead. And
Yeah,
I'm
right.
sure there's a very simple explanation for why they weren't doing that.
Yeah,
But-
I
It
think
was
Ocon
actually a
thought he
little-
was fighting for his own position only to not realize who was battling. Because the funnier part for me was they went on to do that for like 5 laps or something.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And then
Went on for a
and then
while.
yeah, right. And then Otmar finally comes, or someone comes in and tells Ocon hold position. And
Yeah.
then 10 seconds after that, Bottas comes behind him, and Ocon's like, "Yeah, you can go."
He got pretty canned, man.
Yeah.
I actually
It
didn't
was-
hear the radio message,
Mhm.
but I think I'd gone to take a leak, and then I came back and like Bottas was in the middle. I was like, damn,
Yeah.
that did not work out.
Yeah, no, though it was really awesome. I think Bottas even said on the radio that while these two guys was battling it out, he's like, I'm just gonna hold back and let them do their shit. I'm not getting involved. And then
Yeah.
once that settled down, he just went for it and took the position for himself.
I love that he's had like he obviously didn't finish the race, but like he's looking so strong. Like the first race also he had a great result.
Yeah.
And I just feel good for Bottas in a post DTS era where like he's just been shit on every
man.
season, and now this is kind of like a comeuppance for him where he's like he's still there, he's still in the
He's still there.
conversation. It's
Yeah.
good.
True.
Traditions.
That section also involved like K-Mag and yeah, K-Mag, I just 11
Oh,
days prior to the whole season start, he was probably chilling somewhere and he's like, yeah, this season's gonna be fun, only to receive a call. And yeah, what
From
great
Gunther.
drive. Yeah, from
From
Gunther.
Gunther.
Before this last race started, he was like, it's been a very dreadful 2 seasons, and then I went off to do something where I've won trophies and I've been on podiums, and like the previous 2 years were the worst years of my life. And then Gunther calls me to join Haas again.
Man, straight up shitting on his what's that? IndyCar team?
Yeah. Oh man.
Worst 2 years of my life.
Oh, dude. They're gonna have a great DTS season 5 for sure, though.
Yeah.
Haas.
True.
Finally, because they've been getting canned since season 1. Like,
Yeah.
I think the glory years were before Drive to Survive started shooting, and then they've just been memes.
Yes, man.
Yeah,
Seriously.
good to see them finally.
Yeah.
Just
Definitely.
having a little bit of luck. But
That's
also,
true.
like, I just want to mention, I'm just really glad that Mick is okay after,
Yeah.
like, whatever happened on Saturday.
Man, that crash was terrible.
Yeah, dude,
33 Gs, I think. I mean, yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Too bad.
And like
curious.
they didn't pan to I mean, sorry to cut you off, but like they didn't show Mick's like him moving or any radio
Yes.
communication
Yeah,
for the
yeah.
longest time.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think
Really
it's
stressful.
standard procedure these days. I think ever since Antion's crash, or actually Senna's crash, ever since then they have kind of taken up this format that whenever they are not sure if the driver is okay, they don't show unless they have a confirmation on that. Yeah.
Interesting.
I think
But
that's good.
an interesting one was like, as soon as he crashed, like he took his hands off the steering and he was like this.
Yeah.
And I saw
wonder
that
if-
last night.
Yep.
And I don't like if that's training or that was his reflex or that was actually not a good move. Like I have no clue on why and what that means. But I'm just guessing it's self-defense against like just
Yeah.
I think it is training because when the car is not in your control, the steering wheel is exerting a lot of torque and like your hands can literally break if you hold on to it. So it's kind of training to just, yeah.
That's
yourself
scary
safe.
to think about. Hands getting ripped off.
Yep, right.
Not an injury I thought would ever be within the realm of possibility. It's very specific. Just ripped off from the wrist down.
Yep.
Good.
Yeah, man,
Good on
like-
Mick. And like he's moving and like he was up and running.
Yeah. No, he was doing good. Exactly. Yep. But
And
still,
it's good
this
to take a break also, man. Like sometimes if you had a stomachache, just don't go to school. That's why I used to tell my mom always, I'm like, I just recovered, bro. I'm still honestly recovering, like psychologically.
Man, but that car was like broken into pieces. Like I'm pretty
it
sure
actually
that-
ripped like this.
Oh man.
it
Is there
left a
like
mark as well.
I have a question for you guys. I've been wanting this. One of the things I want to ask you is, does the Haas look to you like really brittle for like the business that it's in? Because I think I don't know if it's in a practice session or anything, but like there was like curb damage to I think Mick's Haas also, and then like this like we saw what happened. So
Yeah.
is it like does it look scarily like Nazuk to you guys?
I think
Serious
they just don't
question.
have enough money. See, they have already lost their title sponsor, man. Give them a break.
Yeah. Fair.
But that's the best deal to have, right? Like you take all the money last season, make a winning car, and then be like, you are out.
Yep. Things couldn't get. I mean, yeah, that worked out for them, I guess. Because
Yeah.
like now everybody loves Haas.
Yes, exactly.
Nobody online is shitting on them anymore.
Yeah.
And I
including
think Mazepin leaving F1 was like career ending for Latifi, I think, because now he's the new Mazepin all of a sudden.
Yeah. We need someone.
Yeah, man. Though, man, since we're talking about good overtaking, we have to address Charles versus Max. I think that was like the meat of the show. And wow, what 10 laps we had at the end. It was just something else.
Yeah. They did that the first race also, and like it's happened again.
Yeah.
And also like this is, dude, like the new strategy that's coming into the races now, like when Charles kind of just let Max take the lead and then got him back with DRS in the next corner. He did it again.
Yep.
Yeah.
But dude, like props to Max, because literally like you could see him evolving his driving
Yes.
style in the middle of the race. You know, he didn't chase him down, didn't just
Yes.
go for the gap.
Yep.
And that is exactly when I was taking notes, and that's when I wrote Verstappen God on my notepad. I just stopped. I was like, I'm just gonna watch the race now.
Yeah.
It was beautiful. It was
Yep.
cool to watch, man.
Yeah.
Along
They
with
both
that, I
locked
also
up,
have
right?
to. Yeah, that was
Yeah, they
awesome,
did.
right? They both
Yeah.
locked up. Yep.
Yeah.
And I think you were mentioning this, Akash, earlier. I think K-Mac was doing that trick all along,
Yes.
right?
So yeah, in the first half of the race, like K-Mac did this with multiple folks, and I was like, maybe other teams know this because K-Mac's doing this, and K-Mac used it. I think he overtook like 3 or 4 people with that strategy, and I'm like, this is so cool. This is so cool that the
Whoa.
people are understanding what this track is and figuring out how to
Mhm.
actually do overtakes. And K-Mac for all people, right? So it's like interesting.
Yeah. Good
Yep.
for him, man. Good for K-Mag. Is
So-
this something that he did in the first race also, or is that like who do I give credit for this strat?
Who knows?
The strat, who knows? I give
Is
it
it
to
like
K-Mac because he's the first one I saw doing it.
At least
so.
on this track.
Okay.
So yeah.
Okay, fair enough. That's
Yeah,
the
but-
K-Mag move. then.
Have to give credit to Ferrari for the strategy. I don't know. All of a sudden, it seems like Ferrari realized that they have hired strategists and they need to listen to them.
True.
Because that fake call for that pit was awesome.
So that was that intentional then? Like I
Yeah.
couldn't I wasn't
it
sure.
seemed
Like,
that way, and Charles said so as well during one of the interviews
Okay.
later on. Because
he
there
did.
were two clues, which I also thought it was a little fishy because they said that at the start of his lap, which is very weird. Why would you give it up so early in the lap that you're gonna pit?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So yeah.
But
they kind of
here's my
baited them.
thought. So here's my thought, and here's the theory, which is both of them were so close to each other that it had to be opposite strategies. Like if Charles would have come in, Perez would have stayed out, and if Perez would have come in, Charles would have stayed out.
Yep.
Now, historically, Red Bull have fallen for, Mercedes trying to play, let's do a pit, and then Red Bull comes in and, like, we gotcha. So maybe Ferrari sort of like understood that Red Bull falls for this, and they're like, let's get the tires out, and they did fall for it. But
That's
on the other
hilarious.
side, it's probably like, Perez, he came in and Charles went out. So
Yeah, man.
Wow. They're just baiting Red Bull like both the races. This like we're just gonna tease you guys. We're gonna make you make the mistakes. But also like it was really unlucky for Perez. Like
Yeah,
I know
definitely.
we've trashed Latifi for a long like about 15 minutes now, but we haven't spoken about the reason why. But so like again for the second time in 3 races he has changed the equation completely. But also like now nobody can call him a secret Red Bull agent
Yeah,
anymore.
that's true. Exactly. Yeah.
But on that,
yeah,
right? So while we are on that, let's unravel that section. So Perez just super bad luck with that pit stop, super bad luck. But then just right with the virtual safety car and then the actual safety car, Science pits and he comes out, and then you have that close out of the pit, Perez literally sort of overtaking. And my opinion there is that Perez had it's very close, so it's a grey line. But then my opinion is that he should have kept the position because this guy's coming out of the pits, this guy's on the track, and there was no need to swap around and then Science is complaining and then whatever happened, right? But like, what do you think? Like, should Perez have kept that position or?
I don't know. I didn't even know like about the rule till Carlos started complaining about it. So I was like, cool, I'm learning something new today as well.
Yeah.
Which is my experience in like most races.
Yep.
But so like for me that was a cool moment because I rate Carlos really highly. In terms of like the progress he's made over the last few years,
True.
from like
That's
to
true.
McLaren to now Ferrari.
And
now like this is something I think I started seeing like a little bit more last year when he joined Ferrari, is like he's got like a little more of a like a dog coming out of him where like he will do whatever it takes to get his points, keep his positions, fight with
That's
his
true.
teammate if he has to. And that's what he did there also, because yesterday also, because initially they were like, we're gonna look at it after the restart and stuff. And Carlos was like, no, I need it right
That's right.
fucking
Right now.
you
Yeah,
know?
that's right.
I need this now. And that's cool to see as a Carlos fan, because I think that's what I've read a lot, that like a lot of people think what sets you apart, like what makes you a champion, is to like apart from the skills that you have, is just you are ready to get your hands dirty, fight
That's
for every
true.
single point and all.
Yeah.
So yeah, good on Carlos. Yeah,
That's
that's
true.
my
That's
opinion
true.
on that. You know,
No,
like
I too
just
do
good
agree, kind of, because, you know, like it was very close, and, you know, so at the end of the day, you need some tiebreaker, and the rule is that whoever reaches the line first gets the position. So I think it's fair. I mean, it's racing. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. This time it wasn't Perez's day. I'm sure he's going to do better, because very honestly, he is performing pretty well this
He's
season.
killing
I
it.
think. Yeah.
Yeah, and
He's
like
just
Collie,
amazing.
what happened in Collie? I think like Max was down in P8. Like I think right start of Q3 was down at P8, and I'm looking at the chart and I see so the way I saw it was just 2 Red Bulls, okay, and I saw one Red Bull up in P3 because the Ferraris were leading at that point, and I saw one Red Bull at P8 or P9, and I'm like, okay, Perez, similar season start, and then they put the names up, and I'm like, wait, what's happening here?
Yeah.
And then he goes P1, and I'm like, what is
Yeah.
happening here?
Dude,
Yeah,
and they
seriously.
were like, they were showing only the Leclerc lap, like, which was also a crazy lap. It was like, it looked picture perfect to me.
Yeah.
And I remember like watching the quali in my head, I was like, damn, that's what Max is trying to do last year. That's how you do it, Red Bull. And then like Perez just he was like, allow me to interrupt.
Yeah,
was
man.
cool.
Yeah, kudos to
Good
him.
on
I think
but
he became the first Mexican driver to get a pole position, so that's
Oh, is
something
he?
for him. Yep, that's right.
yeah.
Oh,
Also,
wow.
I it was almost 11 years to the day of his F1 debut. I saw that
really?
this on
Wow.
Reddit the next day, and his
Nice.
number 11 also. So that was like
Wow.
kind of freaky.
Sweet, nice.
Yeah, so
It's
that
a
was
nice
dope.
start.
Shout
Nice.
out Reddit, always
And
coming
on
through.
on that note, do you want to get into like some stats and memes at this point?
Sure.
Oh,
Let's do that.
nothing would make me happier.
I've got 2 not so fun stats, but stats, which is I think like the most positions gained yesterday was Hamilton, and I think like this can become a good segue after this section. So let's talk about Hamilton after this. But maximum positions gained yesterday was Hamilton. Maximum positions lost yesterday was Perez. Obviously, this doesn't count the cars that noped out, which also we'll talk about. But yeah, these 2 were the leader gainers and losers also.
I think there was one more really interesting stat yesterday for Hamilton itself, which was completing 180 Grand Prix with a single team. And that's, he basically just beat Michael Schumacher's record with that, which is pretty awesome.
Huge. That's huge.
That's
huge.
Sachin Tendulkar numbers right there.
That's true. That's true.
That's true.
Off to memes. I'm gonna start off with like a Simpson meme. I don't know if you've seen this, where Homer's standing with like all wrinkled skin, and he's got like a very good stat or something good on the front, but it's all wrinkled skin crumpled together on the back.
Yeah.
And that meme goes like Hamilton standing like Homer, P10, and then the back crumple says only 13 cars finished the race.
Oh yes, I just saw that meme. Oh yes, man, I didn't realize that. That's true.
That's beautiful.
Only 13 cars did finish the race. Damn, man.
But what have you got? What's happening in your meme world?
I didn't. I'm here for the memes. I'm just gonna. Yeah.
I think one of the best ones I saw was there's this meme of Andre. You know, he used to have that show where like he's trying to push on the gates, and it's basically Lewis Hamilton. And the pit lane going like, let me in.
And that frustrating.
Just as he passed the pit lane, it closed, and of course he missed his opportunity.
The other good one was
man.
how this Pablo Escobar once gotten famous, where like
Oh, yes.
he's just loitering around with his tummy out and just waiting, and that essentially was I think like Russell yesterday, right? Like he was
Yeah.
plus 22 on Perez and then minus 24 on whoever was, I think
Ocon,
or
I think.
whoever was
Yeah,
behind
Ocon,
him,
yeah.
and he's
He was
just
in
like
an
on
absolute
there.
deserted island. I don't know what he was doing. They didn't even show him even once, I think, during the race.
Yep.
Because I think there was absolutely no action going around with him at all.
Oh,
Yeah.
man. Some of these were good. Some of these were
there's one
good.
that you guys showed me before we started with Wide Verstappen being the backdrop of the
yes.
Red Bull car. That is
True.
Yeah.
wallpaper worthy.
Yeah,
True.
That's pretty
I
good.
just love that White Verstappen meme. You know,
Yeah.
every time I see it, I laugh just as much. I don't know why.
Yeah. I need that on a cup. I think I saw someone with a Wide Verstappen cup last season. I was like, I need that really bad, dude. Probably gonna print it out. What is
Oh,
like?
man.
What's just curious?
Mhm.
What's your like number one F1 meme from any season? What's just sticks out? Because like I think
Ooh.
Spinala is like
Yeah, it's
Oh,
a
yeah.
classic,
there.
you know,
It's up
like it's
there.
That's
right
a
up there. So do you guys have any personal favorites?
I think mine has to be Bono, my tires.
Bono.
Something that's
That is
gotten
good.
something that's gotten interesting for me recently is you know how this car's trying to cross a track and then the train rams the whole car away. You seen that one?
Yeah.
It's like something's
Yeah.
happening and then the train rams. Like
Yeah,
yesterday
yeah.
was maybe Hamilton trying to enter the pit lane and then pit lane closed.
or it's Hamilton on the way for the world championship and then Latifi goes.
Oh man. Still too soon somehow.
Exactly.
Yeah,
right?
PTSD. Sarang was mentioning this
Yeah.
last recording. He still gets PTSD from that.
Bro, I
I wake
don't
up
think
shouting, "No, Michael, no!"
That's my favorite. By the way, just all the iterations of no, Mike, no, that was so not right. It's timeless, you know.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
Oh man.
It's a beautiful movie.
So where were we? Oh yeah, I was talking about Hamilton, right? Hamilton, man. Props to him. Like forget P10, bad race, whatever. I mean, props to him. For me, what stood out was 41 laps on the same tire. I mean, I for one felt like he'd just like finished the remaining 9 on the same and without any pit stops too.
If only that like the rule didn't exist that they have to use 2 compounds, he probably might had as well, I guess.
Probably, true.
Yeah. I saw him in like 6th at some point and I didn't realize that he hadn't pitted.
Yeah.
So when he did pit at like what lap 40, 41 or something, around then I was like, oh no, because now like I have this feeling like, of course, like you know, anybody who's not a Merc or Hamilton fan for the last few seasons has just been like, we want to see someone else at least challenging. But this season, I'm like already found myself like rooting for Hamilton. Like I at least want him back on the top, and like I have no shame in admitting that. Like you know, good for him. You know, like I want to see him do well now.
Yep, definitely.
It would have been a good weekend for him if the team wouldn't have done him over actually.
Oh yeah, I mean, he just crossed the line by the time they told him, and I think it reminded me of that in thing. Do you remember? I think it was
stay out. Was that Kimi? Who was that?
No, it was Hamilton. Yeah,
it was Hamilton. Oh.
Yeah, I think it was Germany. I think so. Germany. I don't recall so well though.
Oh, damn.
But regardless, Hamilton, I mean, he drove brilliantly, man. Yeah, he had a terrible quali, of course, out in Q3. I think this was, I don't even remember when was he out in Q3 the last time, like without any mechanical failure or something like that.
Yeah, I think I read something like one was Brazil 2012 or something. I might be wrong, but like something without like a weather interruption or like a
damn
something.
That's a long time, man.
Really long time. I might be getting that fully wrong though.
But at least half a decade to a decade away is what it's been.
Yeah, many years. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
I think he has. Did you notice that he has adopted his helmet from his early time? So he's probably like he wants to go through his career again.
He's definitely had some. I think he was actually even pissed when they told him come into the pits, and he was right midway through like the exit and the entry of the pitch, and he's like,
Yeah.
The actual part, I thought he would have taken the call at that point because he was on the track and he saw that there is a pit entry open. He could have, from his experience, gauged that, hey, this is gonna create a chaos because there are two cars stopped there, so might as well just go in.
Yeah. I too had thought that he would do that, and in fact, I thought earlier that it was his call to not go in, because he often does override his team.
True.
But yeah, turns out his team fucked him over. But
True.
sad for him, but he still drove brilliantly. Of course, only 13 cars finished, and that's why he got a P10. But regardless, he did gain that 1 point. So yeah, not too bad.
Oh, I just wanna take a moment to talk about like cars crashing out, which I know we'll get to, but I remember there was one moment. When was it? I think lap 36. I think when the real like shit show started, like cars just started conking off, like a cell phone. Alonso went out.
Yeah.
And then I remember for the first time, I think Norris and Ricardo were in 9th and 10th.
Yep.
Right.
And me as a McLaren fan, I was like, finally, cool.
Yeah.
I don't care how it's happened. And then 5 seconds later, like Ricardo's car died. I'm like, great. Cool, man.
And then Bottas just decided to join
And then
the party.
Bottas, like right after, he was like...
Like, yeah, I'm missing this out.
I wonder, like, what went through his mind. I mean, sure, the car noped out, but I'm like, it's like, cars are going out, and maybe this is an option that you can actually sit one out even midway through the race, and I'm like, I'm out.
This wasn't an option at Merck, but maybe in Alpha they do things different.
Exactly.
That's nice.
Yeah,
Must be nice to not be a Merck second driver.
Yeah. Talking about the second driver, Merck, George, man, he's doing good.
Ooh.
Like,
he's doing so good. And like I think the first race, I haven't again seen like the post-race chatter too much this time, but I think after quali in the first race, like there was a lot of anti-George sentiment because I think most of these were like just people standing Bottas. But I really do expect him to have a good season, I feel like he's going to be right up there with Hamilton. I mean, I didn't expect Hamilton to have such a bad race yesterday.
True.
So yeah, but he's probably gonna be consistently there, at least in the 5th to 6th position, unless and until like Merck figure out, like their car woes and stuff. So yeah.
True.
Yep. I guess he'll do just fine. He's shown he's good at Williams. Even in that dog shit of a car, he was able to get into Q3.
He really had to go through the fire, man. Like, he was literally like he was in tears while.
That is also becoming a new meme, by the way.
You're talking about the one where Verstappen and Sainz were in the back laughing, right?
Yes.
Yeah. How did I never notice that? How did none of us ever see them like lamawing in the back? I don't even know if they were laughing at George, but just like the camera angle is just perfect.
Still too funny
material. Beautiful. But yeah, like he had to see some shit, right?
Exactly.
And now he's in a D's car.
So yesterday I think there was this moment where it was 5 and 6 was Russell and Hamilton, and I was like, please no team orders, because they would have done that, I guess.
Yeah.
You think so? Even though like Hamilton was on like 40 lap old tires?
Yeah, but
probably not.
He's the minter there, right? So they gotta do everything for Hamilton.
Damn, like I didn't really I haven't really thought about that because it's just been Ferrari at the front, but yeah, like if Mercedes figure their car out, team orders are gonna come into play really soon because they're gonna try and push Hamilton for his 8th title.
Yeah.
And then it's gonna get really interesting.
Okay, since we're talking about team orders, I think we really need to address this. Pretty much all the drivers were ordered to race, right?
Ordered to race? I'm curious on where this is going now.
Ordered by the Saudi government? Oh, sorry, team principals.
Wink, wink. Wink, wink. Man, what was happening? I'm like, it's not even someone playing a sound of a bomb or like, maybe a short circuit caught fire and Aramco is going on fire. It was literally a missile blast.
Yeah. I think Verstappen said, we will comment on this later. Even Hamilton is like, I just want to go home.
Yeah.
And that like makes me think about like what a precarious position they're in. Like they can't put a foot wrong while they are in the country because like I read comments saying like it is entirely within the realm of possibility that if they refuse to race, they won't be allowed to leave.
What?
Yep.
Yeah. That's what I read. Like.
Yep.
Wow.
There was a BBC report on this as well, right? I think.
Wow.
I mean, it was not a direct threat, but I mean, of course, it was not a direct threat. But basically, what they were threatening was they are not gonna allow them to leave with all their equipment, which is, of course, just as important to them, or rather more probably. But yeah.
I was just saying that like I feel like there's gonna be a lot of outpour now once everybody leaves the country safely. We'll see what like everybody actually thinks.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
What were you saying, man?
Now I was saying like there was a possibility that there could have been fireworks yesterday on both sides. Yesterday it was only on the water side with the actual fireworks, but who knows what's going on in the background with like the other
Wasn't
fireworks.
there a lot of fireworks? Like it just went on for like 10 minutes, like the stream got over and I'm like, wait, are they gonna play anything else? And I just kept watching. It's like when you're in a Marvel movie or something, and you're like, end credits is there, right? And you just keep watching, like you're looking out for Indians, like, oh yeah. There's just a lot of freaking fireworks.
I think they had packed enough fireworks, so just in case any missiles come by, they just shoot them off to confuse the missiles.
Flares. That's what it was. I see.
Keep pointing up, guys.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I feel like all the other actual Saudi folks were probably on that cruise ship that was. There was a random cruise ship parked in the middle of the water.
The Mick Schumacher cruise ship. It's at
yes,
MSC.
the Mick Schumacher ship. Yes.
That's what he's coming on? Has contact overnight that they got a fucking cruise ship to replace his car.
But yeah, I just so want this track to not be there. I think Verstappen's probably also commented on this that this track should not exist.
Yep.
Right? I mean, not for anyone, not even for bicycle racing. This track just should not exist.
No, man. Like, that's so true. Just think about Mick's crash, how bad it was. And think about if that happened during a race when they were battling it out the way most people were. Like, anybody who was like half a second behind him would just T-bone into him. And I can't even imagine what. We might like have a body count at the end of the race if something like
this
that
could
happens.
have been like an Antoine repeat, actually.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. It was very bad.
Touch
we
wood.
already got glimpses of this last year, like it didn't seem like it was a very safe track to begin with, like a super fast street circuit. And I think they made some minor changes to the layout this year, right?
Yep.
So like,
I think they pushed the barrier where Max hit in the qualification last year.
Okay. Just nudged it a little bit. Okay. Cool. But yeah, it still seems kind of dangerous.
Man. It's concrete barrier. There's not even like a spring padding or something. It's just wall. Like
wall.
Whatever, wall. Man. Anyways, yeah. Let's see.
But it's kind of sad though, like, I feel bad that the sport is on one hand really improving, the racing is improving, the actions like the inclusiveness and everything that F1 is trying to bring into the sport. I mean, I'm happy to see that. I'm happy to see that they're bringing in cost caps and everything, thus, kind of reducing the influence of money that's required in the sport. And at the same time, you see this where, they are racing at such tracks which are not, safe at all.
Right.
And, as Hamilton said, cash is king has become pretty much like the motto for F1, I guess, at this point, suddenly.
Yep.
Now, I don't know how many people sort of know this or remember this or what, but like the only fight I think F1's put up against the Saudi GP is not having to wear uniform, so to say, right? Because last year they were gonna do that. There was a chance like they were gonna be forced to wear I don't know what the official name for that dress is, But yeah.
Yeah, they had earlier, I think, posted some rules, but then they scrapped those and things like. I think they weren't allowed to wear shorts and things like that. They had like dress code and stuff. But yeah,
That would have been a strange like sight. Man.
Yeah.
Now
Very,
imagine that. Imagine
Mhm.
that. And take your mind back to yesterday's TV directors cutting to this guy.
Oh, that's why they
Oh
were
my
showing
God.
that. Now I get it.
Yes, rebellion at play.
Yeah, I think you guys are talking about the moment where it was Max overtaking Charles, right?
Yes.
And there was a dude trying to yeet a lady.
Yes.
Something, I don't know what he was doing, but he was picking up like I pick my niece up sometimes when she's in tears.
It reminded me the start of Lion King, where that.
Oh man. Oh, that's a meme for sure. I hope someone's made that already. But like, what I thought that was that this guy was a diehard Red Bull fan, because even the lady was in a Red Bull t-shirt, and he was getting ready to chuck her in Charles's way if Max didn't make the overtake stick. And yeah, like he made it land, and then he was just putting her down.
Yeah.
And the director was
Yes,
like,
exactly. That's what it was.
He's not gonna chuck her. It's fine. And then he went back to the action, which
Yep.
is good for us.
Yep. Well,
They did do something similar though, right? Sarang, you were saying this. They did something similar in the quali too. Or wait, Shayan, you were saying that.
Yeah, no, they did. When Hamilton failed to make Q2, there was like this random lady. She was just standing up and she was like, but everybody around her was celebrating. And then like I think she also realized that she's on camera, and then she also kind of started celebrating. I don't know, like
Peer pressure, man.
Watch that back. Yeah, I'll have to look at the data on that one. But yeah, that's what that looked like.
TV directors, I don't know what were they smoking up on, because they were literally cutting to some replays that happened like 30 seconds ago while there is action going on the track.
Yeah.
Like I'm like,
Yeah.
wait, let me at least watch what is going on right now. You're gonna show that and replay another time again. Cutting
even
off some action.
even I don't remember who it was, but one of the commentators actually called them out on that.
Yep.
They were like, we'll have to go back to the live feed now, guys, because that's what we need to see, or something of that sort.
Yeah.
I was like,
You can
damn,
see
they're really lacking here. That was an issue last year also, I think, and yeah, they have to fix that. First the graphics, and now this is becoming an issue. But like they did make a lot of tweaks to the graphics this time. So
So Shayan, there is a running theory. Okay, there is a running theory that someone at F1 is listening to us, and we say this
to
because
us
like
right now,
Yeah, right.
I
now.
mean someone no.
okay.
Because we've made some comments and we've seen those come through, and I'm like,
Really?
there is something happening.
Okay.
So let's
we have to test this theory, dude. Like we gotta make some
let's.
absurd prediction,
Yeah.
Let's.
and if it happens in the next 2 or 3 races,
Yeah.
shout out Stefano. Why don't you come join us?
Stefano. Yep.
So what's the most absurd prediction we can have, or suggestion?
So one we've got going for us was, we said like, don't show us race start replays on lap 2, because that's just started, or at least have like a picture-in-picture, and we've sort of seen some picture-in-picture sort of live versus replay. So that's happened. Monaco obviously is just infamous for strolling us, but that's also changed over time. So yeah, let's send out one feedback to F1 at this point.
Make F1 TV Pro available in India.
Nice one.
Nice one.
Nice one. Yeah.
I'm wait till the Australian GP.
Yep. So
Guess.
the F1 guy, you heard Shayan, and get to it, please.
Stefano. That's nice. It feels good to know that I'm being heard.
Yep, exactly.
It's a good feeling, man.
Well, we talked about everything, but one thing we need to talk about, man. Gunther Steiner, he's ready to do what for 2 points?
Oh yeah. Man, that post match or whenever he said that, right? Like and I quote him, he's like, I would fuck the whole paddock just to get 2 points last season. And I'm like, oh man.
I still can't believe he said that. Like,
man. I think, okay, again, I have one amazing suggestion. Just put a hot mic on Gunther Steiner 24/7 and make a show out of it. F1, you will earn a lot.
Yeah.
That's the feed we need. Like,
Yes.
Exactly.
I'll just listen to Gunther like for the whole race.
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
I don't care.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Gunther for commentary, dude. That would be fun.
Oh, yeah.
Oh
Put him in the
yeah, like
box.
eventually, like like once he stops being a team principal, I feel like that's a role he would really thrive in, no?
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Like, yeah.
Fun race overall. Sarang and Shayan, I know you guys were talking about this. Zhao's helmet, right? Like Zhao's helmet is stellar as well.
That kid has so much drip.
Yeah,
Like,
man.
even what he was wearing to, like, I think it was a pre-race conference, but he had like, I don't know, I think he had a cool animal on his shirt.
Yeah. That white shirt, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It
F1
was pretty
drivers
dope.
they're not like doing animal prints enough. Honestly, it's just Hamilton, but now like he's got a fashion counterpart, which is very cool to see. And I really hope like some of these younger drivers just start expressing themselves more in terms of whatever they can. Like I know like you have to be in team colors most of the times, but come in with some swag, dude.
That's right.
Look at Juan Yu Go. Juan Yu Zhou.
Mr.
Shout
Joe.
out.
We'll get it by the by race 23, I guess. We'll get it.
Yeah.
But contrary to the photo of Zhao, there was this photo of Verstappen coming in his standard uniform that he comes in. That's his Red Bull shirt with the cap, and he had like a backpack. It literally looked some college kid who was going for his next lecture.
He always looks like that. Oh, by the way, do you guys know about this like the hat shape theory? That
I've heard something about
like
this.
the flat top and like
the
every
round
time
top.
I don't know.
Yep.
Yeah.
But what's
I think it
the
was something
theory?
like, so basically, like Verstappen and Perez both have like the Red Bull hats, but Verstappen has a flat brim one. Okay. And like Perez's is like
The curve.
curved.
The curve.
And I haven't
yours,
really like, I swear to God, I've not been paying attention to their hats this much, but I just read something that like every time Verstappen wears that hat, he loses the race. But apparently, and like I'm 99% sure this is satire, but someone commented on that saying, just FYI, he had the flat top hat at Abu Dhabi last year also. But through the course of the race, Christian Horner bent it out of stress and that's why he won. That is the reason Verstappen WDC 2021. But he bucked the trend last night though, because he was wearing the flat top and he still won the race. So good on him.
That's true.
Okay.
That's one tradition that is not gonna come true. Are you guys? I have to ask you this. Okay. I call this the Rosberg Curse because ever since Rosberg, whoever's won the first race of the season, I think has come second every season, right? Am I right or am I wrong?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
No.
Whoever wins the first race of the season. Comes in second in WDC. Is that right?
There is something like that. There is, I don't know second, but there is some meat to it because I remember like folks. So Bottas, right? Like I think he won Australian GP 2019 or 2019. 2020 wasn't there, but and he went to whomsoever this may concern. Fuck you, and then post that I think he never won.
Yes, he never won after.
Yeah. Who won for the first race in 2020?
2020 was like Bottas. It started half. Maybe it was Bottas.
It was Bottas.
Actually, no, that was Bottas 2.0.
I have it right here.
Or Bottas 3.0.
Yeah, it was Bottas.
Now it's Bottas 5.0 at this season is what? I don't know. I forgot.
It's at least 4.5. I don't know if it's like a full upgrade, but
exactly.
Like some features are different.
Yep. I think a bit of a downgrade and an upgrade. So let's see.
Yeah.
But maybe there is some meat to it. So maybe Leclerc's not gonna go ahead and win the WDC. Yeah.
Science for WDC 22 confirmed.
No, dude.
Here, folks.
Goatifi.
I'm just manifesting. Oh my god. So they are going to do reverse grid or what? When's the first sprint race this season? Do you guys know which ones are sprint races?
It's not the ones that were last year, is what I know.
Yeah.
It's a different set. It's a different 3 set this time.
Interesting.
We'll see.
I'm trying to check out. Let's see.
I'm just kind of like excited for sprint races because seems like Danny Rick does better there.
Yeah.
For some reason.
I think this time it's going to be Imola, Austria, and Brazil.
Oh, okay.
But every time they've had sprint, Max has crashed. So
really, is that like
every
race?
Silverstone, Imola or Monza, yes.
Monza, yeah.
And then what was the
Brazil?
third one?
He didn't crash in Brazil, but like some shit went down last year, right?
So.
And last year, this guy went insane. Hamilton went insane in Brazil and just tore through the field, I guess, pretty much.
25 overtakes, crazy.
Do you guys feel like there'll be like a moment like for Hamilton last season that came like super late, like with just like 4 or 5 races left? But yeah, he's clearly like on the back foot this season. And I just feel like there's gonna be a point at which Mercedes figure it out. Hamilton makes a charge, and I don't know if like it's gonna be enough to get him back to the top, but I feel like it's gonna be there. But
do you guys
see it happening anytime soon, or do you feel like it'll be like really late into the season?
I don't, and here's my theory. Helmut Marko actually yesterday said that while the fight is with Ferrari, they don't see it hanging for a long time because they do expect upgrades on the Red Bull. And while Mercedes is going to make their upgrades, I think Ferrari, maybe not, but like maybe these guys are also going to keep making upgrades. The only incentive maybe Ferrari has is maybe this is the last season Hamilton races because he's also again 37, turning 38. And they want to get that 8th driver championship for him. So maybe they go all out. But then again, budget restrictions this season also prevent major upgrades for these teams. So it is going to be interesting.
Though I think, even I don't have a lot of faith in Mercedes and everything, but I do have faith in Hamilton, very honestly. I mean, he's nothing if not persistent, and I'm sure that there are going to be races where, of course, Max is behaving right now, but I'm sure they are going to crash sometime in the future, and Hamilton will be there to pick up the pieces. So I'm sure he's going to capitalize on that.
It started off like being very friendly with Hamilton. Sorry, not Hamilton. Leclerc and Verstappen. Even last night it was like nice and like sportsman-like.
Yeah.
But they've had incidents for a long time. If you know what I'm talking about.
Yes.
It's gonna happen again.
That's true. A few people on the track that get PTSD every time they overtake each other is like, I think Albon and Hamilton, Leclerc and Max. It's like anytime those two cars are next to each other, they are like, wait.
Yeah. So far they've kept it clean. Let's see. I don't know. I don't know. Has there ever been like you guys? I'm sure like I've watched a lot more seasons than I have. But has there ever been a season where like two drivers were fighting for the championship, started off friendly, and they ended friendly also? You probably have to go back to like 90s or something, maybe
teammates, maybe the bromance between Norris and Sainz. But like competitors, no. I don't.
Yeah, I didn't
like
think for the championship.
The championship.
I didn't think for the championship. I think there was one season when Schumacher and who was his second guy?
Barrichello?
Massa, I think. No.
Oh, Massa.
I think there was some season when they were at some point like competing for the champion, but still not through the season, so still not valid. Yeah.
But basically, it's just. We know how this is gonna end.
We certainly do. I mean, we have the proof of Austria 2019, I guess, right? So.
Yes. That's when.
What happened in Austria 2019? Forgot.
Or was it 2020? I don't recall. Anyways, but basically Max and Charles crashed.
Oh. Okay.
The
I'll have to
incidents.
watch that race.
Yes.
Incidents. They've been having incidents for many, many years now. Nothing. It's just an incident. Was that way too many times, man?
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I think like this was a good weekend.
Mhm.
I, for one, had fun. Thank you, Shayan, for joining us. This is
Hey,
brilliant.
thanks for having me, man. I'm so glad to be here.
Yeah.
Nico style.
Sarang, Shayan, first off to you, Sarang. Last thoughts before we close this out.
Yeah, I mean, I think we are here. 2022 has achieved what they were hoping to achieve. We have close racing. We have fierce competition at this, not just at the front, everywhere. Very honestly, and I think we are in for an amazing season. I mean, very honestly, in the last, like while we were watching the last season, I thought that okay, this is where F1 peaks, and it's probably going to be downhill from here. But man, I'm proven wrong, and I'm happy to be proven wrong here.
Yeah,
True,
honestly
true,
surprised,
true.
and I totally agree with what you said. And I think also like this is just the beginning because there have been teams which have made like drastic improvements from race 1 to race 2, and I think that's only gonna keep happening.
Mhm.
Merck's gonna keep getting better. All the midfield cars are hopefully gonna come closer to the front. So maybe it's just gonna get more and more, like interesting and exciting.
Yes.
And what I want to see is just like a lot of different race winners this year, first time race winners.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
hopefully at least one Carlos win, dude. That's all.
It's
A
coming.
Carlos
I
win
want.
where it is celebrated. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
Yes,
Carlos
that
win
too.
where that is the focus of the day. We're not talking about anything else.
True. It's
That
coming.
might be a bit too much to ask for.
Yeah.
But, yeah.
It's coming.
What
It's
about
coming.
you,
All right.
Akash?
Well, I think yes, and it's gonna be interesting in the close racing part. What I find very fascinating is there's so much happening on the track. The top 10 racers are like mix of almost all teams except like Aston Martin and Williams, who are still figuring it out. But there's everyone in that mix in that top 10, which is fun to watch. And it's great where the cameraman needs to figure like what battle do I show, because
Yeah,
there's so
yeah.
much happening.
That's a
on
good
the track.
problem to have, right? Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes. So it's gonna be fun. Folks, until the next episode, this was fun. Go check out Shayan Roy. That's SHANAN. No, sorry, Shayan. Why don't you take it over? Plug whatever it is to
No,
you and
just
close it out.
follow me on Instagram, guys. SHAYANROY. Mad easy name. And also follow F1 fanfiction. Wait, why? But you guys are already following.
Yeah.
Ask others to
Hopefully.
follow F1
Yeah.
fanfiction. Yeah, because
Right,
it's been
folks.
awesome fun, you guys. Thanks so much for having me. And looking forward to many more races and many more conversations with you guys.
Awesome, man. Looking forward here as well.
Bye-bye.